What is not a deal breaker but would be greatly disappointing to find out about your partner? They can only sleep on the same side of the bed as I do and want me to switch sides. My boyfriend and I have been together 11 years. I've had the same favorite TV show since before I met him, and he hates it? Obviously not a deal breaker, but it's pretty disappointing. Face with tears of joy. When there's things they used to do with an ex but aren't interested in anymore. For example, I had an ex whose ex used to force them to do couples costumes at Halloween, etc. I had never had a serious BF before, and desperately wanted to do a couple's costume with him, but he was over it at that point and didn't want to when there's things they used to do with an ex but aren't interested in anymore. For example, I had an ex whose ex used to force them to do couple's costumes at Halloween, etc. I had never had a serious BF before, and desperately wanted to do a couple's costume with him, but he was over it at that point and didn't want to. Sad face. Doesn't put bowls upside down in the dishwasher. They go to Target and throw doormats on the floor to look at them and then just walk away and leave them on the floor. Putting unwanted items back in the wrong place at the supermarket. Becomes a deal breaker when they leave refrigerated or frozen items outside of a fridge/freezer. When you watching a TV series together and he or she watches an episode without you. That's a betrayal. When you plan to watch your favorite movie together at the theaters but they already seen it with friends. In college, watched the movie Donnie Darko for the first time, and when it ended, I had so many questions and was analyzing the meaning behind it. Tried to talk to my then boyfriend and he seemed disinterested. Finally, after a half hour, he says, "Can you please stop talking about it? It's just a movie. You are just supposed to enjoy it, not analyze it." Not a deal breaker, but a huge disappointment. If they are a sock shoe person and not a sock shoe person. I think a lot of people started writing in deal breakers instead of disappointments. If they stop the microwave prematurely, but don't clear the display. Sleep apnea. They run family 5Ks on Thanksgiving mornings. My current so isn't a huge massage person, but it's one thing I love doing, like massage trade-offs W partners. It's disappointing cause I would love a massage but he never likes giving them even if I initiate a trade-off, so he would get one too, haha. The big when he drinks something. Usually it's fine, but once in a while it's aggressive, and I just... You good, hun? Not being able to cook. I love to cook and would gladly cook for both of us most of the time, but every once in a while, I'd like someone else to cook. Needs to have the television on at bedtime. When they don't want to do things together. I get some people need alone time, but some people want to do things like dancing together or rock climbing together, and some so only like to spend alone time together. Which I get cause I'm both half the week, but not doing anything together makes me a little lonely sometimes. If they have live, laugh, love around their home. The girl I'm into right now doesn't like kissing. She thinks swapping saliva is gross, which is weird because she'll swap other stuff no problem. It's not a deal breaker, but I do miss kissing. If you treat a retail space like it's a trash can. I had a girlfriend that would finish her Starbucks while shopping, and leave the empty cup on a random shelf in the store. Or grocery shopping, would decide she didn't want something, then put it down randomly wherever she was in the store. No trying to put it back. The end lesson of her personality being. I don't mind shoving extra work onto others, so that I have to deal with a minor inconvenience. Chewing with mouth open, especially in public. Something about the sound really gets under my skin. They clap when the plane lands. They spell lose as loose. I was very disappointed to learn that my partner refused to watch black and white movies. She makes up for that in many other ways, though. Someone with awful spelling. Being a snob about everything. Being a snob about some stuff, that's fine. But if your entire personality becomes I don't do what everybody else does, then you're no different emo than people who follow trends because you're still letting trends dictate what you consume. For example, you don't like Game of Thrones, so be it. But you don't like any popular shows. You don't like any popular music, you don't like any popular movies. Not a deal breaker, but annoying. They put toilet paper on the wrong way round. I respect your opinion if you think it's the other way round, but you're wrong. When they talk during movies or TV shows asking question even though you watched it at the exact same time. Picky eater. If they wouldn't still love me if I was a worm,